Chapter 5. Live and Let Moo. You and Ryder tear through the forest as you search for the lost calf. Ahead of you, Sergeant presses his nose to the ground. Come out wherever you are. I don't know how I ever let her get out. I should have double-checked the gate. A branch dangles in Ryder's face. Instead of pushing it aside, he rips it from the tree and throws it into the underbrush. I know how much you care about all the animals on the ranch, but you seem really upset about this one. Is she that special? For a moment, Ryder says nothing, silently batting away branches and stepping over logs, and then... She's been struggling since the day she was born. For the first 2 weeks of her life, I bottle-fed her for every meal. Ryder pauses to scan the tree line, worrying his eyes, plain as day, but when he sees you eyeing him, he clears his throat. Yeah, she's special to me. And she's a lucky girl to have had your strong arms wrapped around her, warm milk coaxing into her open mouth. Ryder glances over, his eyes lingering on your lips. I did what anyone would have done, Belle. A hoof print in the dirt catches Ryder's attention, and he quickly hurries north. This way and fast. We have to find her before it's too late. You struggle to keep up with his frantic pace as he blazes a path through the woods, calling after him. Too late for what? Sometimes when an animal's sick or wounded, they'll wander off to die alone. I can't let that happen, not to her. I know you want to get to her, but can we just slow down for one? Your toe snags on an exposed root, and you go sailing forward. You brace yourself, only to end up right in Ryder's arms. I gotcha. You blink, dazed, as you hover inches from the ground, and as Ryder hoists you up, you press your face into the sturdy plane of his chest. I'm sorry. I know we're trying to hurry. I don't mean to slow you down. It was my fault. I was running too damn fast. You alright? Instead of releasing you, his grip on you tightens. You both breathe hard, your bodies pressed together as adrenaline courses through you. I'll be better if you hold me tighter. I'm just feeling scattered, but this is helping. Reflexively, his arms tighten around you, cradling you to him as if to calm you or breathing. How's that? You look up at his face, so close as he crushes you to him, his fingertips digging deep impressions through the thin fabric of your shirt. But every breath comes faster than the last, and as his heart races in your ear, you realize you're not the only one trying to hold it together. Better. Much better. As frantic barking fills the air, you look around to find Ash Sergeant inching anxiously off to your left. He must have her scent. We should go. You pull away from Ryder's grasp and turn to face Sarge, confidence filling your voice. Cast, Sarge. Without a second hesitation, he zips off into the underbrush and you and Ryder hurry after him. I can't believe he's listening to you. How'd you get him to do that? Take a wild guess. Immediately, he shakes his head. Mandy, that girl is a force of nature. You both perk up at the urgency in Sergeant's howl. With a sheer glance of understanding, you focus on pinpointing his location. Take care of her, Sarge. We're coming. You manage to stick to Ryder's heels as you break through the trees ahead of you. A long, narrow gulch divides the forest in two. Wait, I think I see him. But where's the calf? You inch closer to the gulch and peer in, only to find the calf at the bottom, lying on her side. Her breasts appear shallow. She's here. She must have fallen down here and hurt herself. We need to get her out. How are we supposed to do that? The calf looks like... She weighs a ton. She's in a lot of pain. The gulch isn't very deep, but that poor thing is already so traumatized. She'll be a lot more traumatized if we don't get her back on her feet. Ryder pushes up his sleeves before splashing down into the gulch with the calf. Hey there, easy girl. With gentle hands, Ryder pets the calf, first on her snout, then working his way down her body as he feels for broken bones. Careful, you're hurting the poor thing. Not much hope of avoiding that. Her ankle's sprained. What do you need from me? Nothing. I have to haul the calf up out of here by hand. She's too weak to do it on her own. Ryder grunts as he slips his arms underneath the distressed animal and starts to lift. Ryder, stop showing off. You're gonna hurt yourself and then you'll be trapped down there too. And then I'm gonna have to come down and rescue you. Now that I'd love to see to believe. In a move that causes the muscles of his back to ripple and strain under his shirt, he heaves the calf higher. Ryder's knees buckle under the weight, but they both hit the rough rock on the gulch, splashing muddy water everywhere. Damn it! Are you ready for my help yet? I've got it. I just need to rig up a pulley system to get some stupid leverage. With what rope, Ryder? I don't know. He heaves a sigh, then shoulders off his flannel, ready to give it another go as he tosses the shirt aside. An idea hits you. It's not rope, but if we strip down, we may be able to use our clothes to make the pulley system work together. Okay, hear me out. Okay, I'm kidding. It's what it's called, the diamond choice. I think I know how to rig up your pulley. No need, I got it. He grunts as he struggles to raise the calf again. From the way his whole body shakes, you can tell it costs him. Moments later, he lowers her back to the bottom of the ditch. I just need a second. That's it, I'm coming down. Like hell you are, I don't want you getting hurt. Well, maybe. You're underestimating me. Again. You hired me because you needed extra hands. Frankly, I can do a lot of things with these hands of mine. Under any other circumstance, I'd put that to the test. But getting the calf out is gonna take everything I've got. Would you stop with the macho act already? The only thing parading around like this is gonna get you pulled back. I was responsible for the calf's safety. Look where she ended up. I'm not going to let the same thing happen to you. 1, I'm not a calf. 2, if you cared about her as much as you say you do, you'd see that your pride is hurting her. Ryder's eyes dart to the calf, watching as she struggles to get comfortable, and as he thinks of his options, he strokes her side. Damn it, Belle. You're right. I know I am, and I have an idea what might work, as long as you're willing to listen. He grimaces, but it allows his shoulders to relax. I'm sorry, this is all new to me. I'm not used to asking for help. That's what I'm here for. By the end of the week, you'll wonder how you ever did this job without me. He blows out a long breath as he rubs a hand along the back of his neck. To be honest, I'm starting to wonder that. He nods down at the struggling calf. So, what's the great idea of yours? You creep to the other side of the ditch where a tree branch extends out over the ledge. If we tie our clothes together into a rope, we might be able to loop it over this branch for leverage. That should help us lift her out. He reaches for his belt almost immediately. It's worth a shot. He struggles out of a shirt, tosses it, both, and the flannel up to you. Watch him undress. You lean your hip against the tree trunk and watch as he reaches for his fly. He doesn't hesitate as he tugs his pants down his thighs. I'll say this for Ryder, he isn't shy. It's because he's not thinking about this, he's thinking about saving the calf. Your eyes catch on the bulge straining against the front of his boxers. As you make out the impressive outline of him, you feel you're slick. Then again, not like he has a single reason to be. Everything in you throbs as you imagine his massive body on top of you, the full strength of his desire pressing into your waiting warmth. You strip in down too, or is the whole plan hinging on me being the only one enjoying the breeze? You're jolted back to awareness. With trembling hands, you start to quickly remove your clothing. Right, sorry, I lost focus for a second there. That enough for this plan of yours? For now, but don't worry, I'll let you know if I need your underwear. You laugh at Ryder's scandalized expression and knot your clothes with his until you have a makeshift rope. It's not perfect, but it should hold. Good, swing it over the branch and anchor yourself while I get my end tied around the calf. You wrap the rope around your hands and brace yourself against the tree trunk. First it was a tree branch, now it's a tree trunk. Okay, on my count, you lift while I pull. 1, 2. You pull with every ounce of strength, even as the close rope burns against your palm and your muscles strain to their limits. We're close, a little more. You inch back, curving around the base of the tree for additional leverage, but a misstep sends you sailing back towards the gulch. In a moment of panic, you reach out to stop yourself as sharp, slicing pain cuts against your upper arm. Ah! Belle, are you alright? Fine, push. You ignore the pain. With a mighty heave, you and Ryder hoist the calf over the edge of the ditch. As she takes a few unsteady steps, you collapse, your body spent. Still, you fill with a sense of pride. My turn. Your one arm bleeding, you offer him the other, and as you pull with all your strength, you find yourself pinwheeling backwards. Whoa. You fall to the ground with a heavy thump, and Ryder lands on top of you, the hard outline of his body leaving little to the imagination. If I just opened my thighs a little, I could feel every inch of him between me. Wow. You moan. Eesh. You moan almost without thinking, your blood pounding hot and hard towards your throbbing. Belle, are you okay? His fingers ghost across your cheek as he brushes away a stray leaf, but before you know it, your inner thoughts become spoken words. I'd suffer a lot worse to feel you on top of me like this. Okay, I think you might be concussed. Let me get you up from here and... Before he gets a chance to move, you surge your hips upward into his. With a groan, his head tips forward, resting against yours. God, that shouldn't feel as good as it does. I think, concussed or not, I'm finally speaking my mind, and I would appreciate it if you didn't interrupt. My apologies. What did you want to tell me? I wanted to say... Slowly, you lick your lips, and his eyes are on you with a look so intense that you feel a fire starting to burn low in your belly. I want you to kiss me. The smile fades, but the desire pressed against your inner thigh only grows. I can't, Belle. You can. I'm right here. You stretch forward, lips parted, until you're less than a breath away from him, and Ryder's eyes flit to your mouth, filling you with anticipation. I know how much you don't want to need anyone, so you can say no if you want to, but you can say yes, too. Belle. His eyes lock on yours, the hunger behind them thinly veiled, and for a moment you both still, and then... Damn it. With a groan, he dips his head to yours and claims your mouth in a kiss, his tongue plunging into your mouth and tasting you. Even wounded, you're a menace, you know that? You smile against his mouth and slide your legs open further, allowing him as close as you can get him. Oh, I'm just getting started, cowboy. You brush his tongue with your own, and as he grinds in you, you feel the hard, delicious ridge between your thighs. You help Ryder get the calf and a little something extra. The calf's interruption shocks you apart, and as your heart races, Ryder's eyes meet yours with a whisper. So that's what that's like. If you were wondering, you could have just asked. You could have found out a long time ago. You reach up to wipe a mud splatter from his temple, and he pauses, his eyes closing as he melts into your touch. No, I couldn't. I'm not even supposed to know it now. With a sigh, he rolls off of you as to stand, then offers you a helping hand nod. Come on. We gotta get the Caffin Sergeant back before nightfall, and you need to get the arm looked at. Without another word, Ryder unties the clothes rope, and as you get dressed, he moves towards the calf holding his shirt. What are you doing? Tying my shirt around her ankle. If I do it tight enough, she should be able to hobble back to the ranch. You pat a calming hand on the calf's head while Ryder sets her ankle, mentally preparing yourself for the journey ahead. Back at the ranch, you help Ryder treat the calf. Once she's sleeping safely in the barn, you two make your way to the cabins. That was one hell of a day. What happens now? Other than a long hot shower dressing the wound before it gets infected, I'd imagine. Ryder nods at your arm, and reflexively you reach for it with a wince. Oh, yeah, sooner's probably better than later, given we were in the literal woods. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for you getting hurt. I never meant to. It's just a flesh wound. Besides, if I'm not exhausted, broken, or bleeding by the end of the day, am I even a real cowgirl? I'll say this for you, Belle. You're not a quitter. He stares down at you, his expression difficult to read, and you clear your throat. Ryder, I think we need to talk about what happened out there. There you two are. I've been worried sick. You jump back, startled by Mandy's sudden appearance. She takes one look at the two of you, and her eyes go wide. First, you two disappear with no warning, and then you come back bruised, battered, and naked. What the hell happened? I'm sorry. I know we didn't get any chores done today, but I'll make up the time. I just need to dress the cut first. Mandy takes her arm gently in her hands to inspect it before turning to Ryder, livid. You better have a damn good reason for why you let my brand new ranch hand get injured. It's her first week on the job. The calf got loose and we had to go get her. Or are we expanding the definition of free range? Mandy, I swear I'm fine, but it's cute you worried about me. Though if you're not careful, someone might accuse you of favoritism. Well, if they don't want you to be my favorite, maybe they should up their game. You hold her gaze and feel her fingers slide gently down your forearms to your hands. But if things are going to work out around here, we've got to fix the way you two look at each other. You raise your eyebrows at Mandy, then nod to Ryder expectantly. She sighs. Sorry, Ryder, I guess I came in a little hot. Fair enough. I probably should have told you we'd be gone most of the day if I was just in a hurry. Good news is we got the calf back in the barn where she belongs. And she'll be okay? For now, yeah. I need to reinforce her stall, keep an eye on her ankle, but she'll live. I was just gonna go grab a shirt first. Ryder hesitates and looks to you with a look you can't quite read. Want to meet me in the barn when you're ready, Belle? I'll be there. As he heads into the cabin, Mandy breezes past you, heading towards your cabin. You won't be much help if that gets infected. Come on, I'll show you where we keep the first aid kit. Inside, you settle in the armchair while Mandy grabs the kit. She sits on the edge of the coffee table, eyeing your arm. It looks like it bled pretty well. Does it still hurt? It's, feeling better now that you're here. Yeah, I'd suffer a lot worse if it means I'd get personal nursing from you. First aid is one of my specialties. I'm amazing at giving mouth-to-mouth. You flip open the lid of the kit and pull out a Band-Aid, but Mandy slaps her hand. Don't tell me you're gonna slap that on it and call it a day. That gash needs a good clean first. I was just, gonna use the glorified sticker and hope for the best. Let me clean it for you. It's the least I can do. I mean, if you got some Neosporin. You don't mind, are you sure? I wouldn't believe the injuries I've seen on this ranch. At this point, I'm basically a field nurse. She removes her jacket and leans over your injury, close enough to grant you the clearest view of her cleavage. Cleaning a wound can sting, but I've got my own personal method to distract you from the pain. Wanna see? Diamond choice, clearly. I'd love to see what you can do with antiseptic and some bandage tape. Atta girl, I knew you wouldn't scare easily. She sachets over to the sink and starts washing her hands, taking the time to soap down twice. Isn't that a little overkill? In a place like this, crawling with disease and animal matter, it's a good thing you have me around to look after you. You'd have an infection by morning. I'm glad to know you're cautious, you're confident in your skills. No one could ever accuse you of being modest. Modesty is for people without my killer personality, laser sharp wit, bubbling charm. And don't forget your out of this world body. You let your gaze skim her every curve before meeting your eyes, and she quirks an eyebrow. Oh, I never forget about that, neither does anyone I've ever been with. You take a seat at the table and Mandy leans in close to examine the wound, her breast grazing your arm to the point of a distraction. Well, doctor, can we save the arm? If you stop wriggling and let me clean it, I think we can manage. She grabs a pair of tweezers and gently picks at the dirt and debris of the cut. What the hell did the two of you get up to out there anyway? This is pretty deep. Oh, just the usual danger, intrigue, drama. You got all that from that afternoon with the Ryder? That sounds like someone's jealous. What's wrong? Afraid you might have a little competition? I'm never afraid of competition. In fact, it's probably my second favorite thing. What's your first? She slips her tongue out and runs it along her bottom lip, drawing your attention to its plump fullness. I could tell you, but then I'd have to show you. Sign me up. This close to her, you barely feel a thing as she cleans the wound, and at a closer inspection, you realize she's nearly done already. Oh, I get it. The flirting keeps my mind occupied so I don't feel the pain. What you call flirting, I call talk therapy. Tomato. Mandy shrugs with a sly smirk. You want to tell me a little more about what went down? Well, it was pretty scary out there, actually. I was afraid we'd never find the calf. A sad but necessary part of ranching, unfortunately. You mean I'll be out there doing that every day? Well, no. Running after rogue cows isn't super typical. I'm just glad you both were able to get her back to the barn in one piece. Mandy dips a cotton ball in iodine, and as she swipes your cut, you hiss through your teeth with the sudden sting. Oh... You were doing so well, but I guess it's time to up the therapy, huh? She scoots closer, and as she gives the cut another pat, she drops her hand to your thigh. Oh. The sudden attention makes your stomach clench, and between your legs you feel yourself melt as her hand slides higher. See? You barely feel it anymore, right? Right, but if you keep reaching... you're gonna feel plenty. Are you ready for that? Please. Around here playing a round of Are You Nervous with the neighbor teens is a rite of passage. And I never lost. As she speaks, her hand creeps higher, and it takes everything in you not to squirm. Are you nervous, Belle? The closer she gets to your center, the more the heat radiating from it pulses rhythmically, and you fight back another groan. Not even close. Liar. At the last minute, she pulls back and cuts a length of medical tape. Just as casual as you please, you let out a heavy sigh. So, how did you get so good at first aid anyway? Do you have, formal medical training? My dad insisted I got an annual CPR certification. You never know when you'll need it, and all. Beauty and brains. I knew you were gonna be trouble. My dad's insisted on that too. Keeps life fun. But to be honest, I did a lot of this kind of cleanup on myself as a kid. I was what my dad's called a wild child. No kidding. You? Mandy throws a cotton ball your way with a laugh. There's an awfully big patch of woods between here and where the real fun is. Nicks, scrapes, cuts, splinters, they were the price for living life on my terms. Weren't you ever lonely? She thinks about it for a moment before shaking her head. Not really, no. I've always had a good imagination, and if I couldn't find what I needed here, I went out and made it for myself. Wow, that's impressive. Not nearly as impressive as the scar's gonna be. She tapes your cut to keep it closed, smoothing the bandage flat, and holds your arm out for you to examine. What do you think? I think you should check me for more injuries. What if there's another deep cut? We wouldn't want it to get infected. You're right, I haven't checked everywhere yet. Reaches for your waist and gingerly eases your shirt over your head before cupping each of your breasts in a hand. Nothing here. You know, most women, when they hear nothing here while you're holding their breast, would go, I don't know how to feel about that. I'm just saying. Roving her hands lower, Mandy pulls you to her feet and lowers your fly. As she sinks to her knees, she slides your jeans down your thighs. What about now? Her fingers hook in the waistband of your underwear, catching you off guard. Huh. Definitely something here. But as she starts to lower them, you catch her hands. First things first, Doc. I can't be the only one stripping down. She's so close, you can practically feel the heat radiating from her body, and without a second's hesitation, she whips off her top. Fair is fair. Her hands travel down her taut stomach to her jeans, and as she kicks them off, you take in the smooth skin of her thighs. Well, is that how you want me? Now what? Worship her, kiss her. Let's see what worship is. Now this. Your hands cross her hips, memorizing every curve as your lips skim their way across her shoulder, the tops of her breasts, down her stomach. You never have to wonder what comes next with me. My every move is going to be in service of hearing you make that sound. As you sink to your knees before her, you graze your lips over her abdomen, then lower, breathing in the heady musk of her. You keep pulling moves like that, and it won't be hard. Her fingers tangle in your hair, gripping a handful and forcing your head back to look up at her as she bends and curves your lips with hers. Then suddenly a knock comes at the door. Belle, I'm heading to the barn. Right behind you. As you listen for the sound of his retreating footsteps, Mandy grins. You know, you don't have to go. I do, actually. I want to prove I'm worthy of being here. You got nothing to prove to me, Belle, or anybody. You're a rock star, and we're lucky to have you, but I get it. And more than that, I respect it. Have a good night, Belle. As she gets dressed and heads out, you can't help but wonder how much Mandy would respect you if she knew the truth. You can't worry about that now, Belle. You have to work, and hopefully you'll earn the right to stay. And that's what literally you've been doing. The next morning, you rise early and head to the main house for coffee, but raised voices draw you to the living room. And we'll, just get your InSim. Whoa, watch your hands, ma'am. From the doorway, you find a woman on her knees in front of a nearly nude rider, her hands pressing high up on his inner thighs. What's going on? At the sound of your voice, the woman turns, and you catch a glimpse of the measuring tape in her hands. Mandy grins from her place on the couch. Belle, you won't believe the treat I've got cooking. What you call a treat, I call torture. The woman has her hands near mine. It's her job to take your measurements, Ryder. The best part of fundraisers are all the bright lights and champagne. You two are gonna have a great time. I think I've got everything I need here. Let me guess, you're next. The seamstress jots down the last measurements and tucks away her tape. Mandy moves to stop her. Wait, before you go, you need to take Belle's measurements. What? Me? What for? Didn't I mention it? My dad's a dying to grill the rock star new hire I've been bragging about. Time to break out the formal wear. We're all heading to the big city. Oh, joy. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description. Plenty of ways to support the channel. Things to check out. Ways to become more of an intricate part of this community and this family that we've had for many, many years. With that being said, hopefully you all did enjoy. And with that being said, yeah, no, there's a few tiny little thoughts I'd say. But, let me know how you guys think in the... or feel in the comments section, and maybe I'll share. Otherwise, catch you all later. Peace out.